your wagering decisions. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we're going to go review the game one of the NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers on Wednesday evening. But first, I do want to let you know about a promotion that we're running over at BetQl. You can get 20% off any BetQl subscription by using the promo code CHAN. Just go to the website at betql.co for more information. Just to give you an idea as to how the BetQL model ran this weekend, it ran super hot. If you follow the model for college football, for example, this weekend, you would have cashed on 3 separate 5-star college football winners. The model recommended that you lay the points with Auburn against the Kentucky Wildcats for -7. Auburn ended up prevailing in that game by a 29-13 margin against the Kentucky Wildcats. I laid the points with Auburn this weekend in a parlay, and I know that was a game where the public was heavily invested in Kentucky. Kentucky was the trendy public dog. There was a lot of skepticism about Bo Nix and the Auburn Tigers' ability to cover what some perceived as a relatively large spread. But if you tailed the model, you would have been able to cash a relatively easy one with the Auburn Tigers by laying the points with them. The model also recommended that you lay the points with Virginia Tech against NC State. Virginia Tech was a 6.5-point favorite. Virginia Tech ended up winning that game easily, by a 45-24 margin over NC State. So that would have been another relatively stress-free win if you had tailed the model. The model also recommended that you bet the over in the LSU Mississippi State game. The over/under was set at 57 total points. The model recommended a bet on the over, and the game ended up being a 78-point game. Mississippi State pulled off the stunner. LSU was the first national champion to lose a home opener in quite some time. It looks like that team it's going to take a while for that team to recover from losing Joe Burrow to the NFL draft. But it was certainly a stunning game, but it would have been a game that would have made you a lot of money if you were a BetQl subscriber, if you had access to the model, and if you had tailed the model, which recommended a 5-star bet on LSU Mississippi State over 57. On tomorrow's show, I'll be giving away another couple free picks off the model. But if you want to see everything that the model has to offer not just on NCAA football, but also on NFL, also on the upcoming NBA playoffs, the upcoming baseball playoffs, go use the promo code of CHAN to get 20% off any BetQL subscription. There's going to be a wealth of free information available on the website as well on betql.co. There's going to be a preview of the NBA Finals Game 1. There's going to be a preview of some of the open and wild card baseball games. There will be a preview of some of the big college football games for this upcoming week 5. I'll have a couple articles available this weekend as well. So certainly go take a look at betql.co. If you like what you see and if you want to give the model a shot, and as you could see from how the model did this weekend, it's making its subscribers a lot of money. Go use the promo code CHAN so you can get 20% off. There are weekly plans available. There are monthly plans available. There are annual plans available. You can choose one sport, 2 sport, or all sports, but choose the plan that works best for you. Go check out the website. With that said, we don't have a huge schedule to go over today. We're going to go over Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are 5-point favorites in Game 1. The over/under is set at 217.5 points. I'm simply stunned that the Heat are in this position at all, and I'll fully admit that the Heat have pretty much been my kryptonite as an NBA bettor. I mean, that's the sport I follow the most. That's the sport I feel that I understand the most. And the Heat have just taken a wrecking ball to me during these playoffs. I simply don't get this team at all, but they are in the NBA Finals. But I just have to – they are a complete statistical anomaly. If anybody remembers the regular season, the Heat were an auto fade pretty much before the season was suspended due to the COVID-19 outbreak. They were an absolute auto fade. They were overvalued by the books, by odds makers, and they were easy to fade. And if you faded them, you cashed a lot towards the towards the time before the season was suspended. But they've come back since the season resumed, and they've been on a tear, to their credit. But the statistical anomalies are still stunning to me. They beat the Celtics in 6 games they beat them 4-2 in 6 games. But the Celtics won the point differential battle. The Celtics ended up scoring one more point than the Heat in the entire series. The Celtics actually hit one more three-pointer than the Miami Heat. The Heat relies so much on Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Jay Crowder, Goran Dragic, and Olynyk to light it up from the three-point line. And yet the Celtics were able to outscore them by only one three-pointer, but still, the Celtics were able to at least maintain parity with them. And the Heat only outscored the Celtics by 10 points from the free throw line. That's what really, really surprises me. The Heat were not really able to exploit the Celtics fully from the free throw line or from the three-point line, and yet they were able to come away with a series victory. And they didn't even have to go to a Game 7. It was a relatively stress-free victory at the end of Game 6. Jimmy Butler only averaged 19 points per game in this series. He shot 43% from the field and 16.7% from the three-point line. So Butler hardly lit it up in this series against the Celtics, and yet the Heat didn't really need him. They had other guys step up. They had Tyler Hero step up. They had Bam Adebayo step up. They had Dragic step up. And that's kind of the frustrating thing about this team. It seems like there's a different guy each night, and that's what makes them tough to bet against, and that's what makes them tough to bet on. The one time I bet on the Heat in the series is the one game they actually is one of the 2 games they failed to cover in the series, so go figure. They're a tough team to bet on, and they're a tough team to bet against, but if you bet a Heat's future for the NBA Finals, I'm happy that you're probably a wealthy guy or girl today. But I think the Heat have finally met their match. And I say that with a lot of trepidation, given how much I've undervalued them in these playoffs. But they may have finally met their match in the Lakers. The Lakers won both of the regular season matchups with the Heat. The Lakers shut Miami down from the three-point line. Miami only averaged 8 three-pointers per game in the 2 games. They only hit 16 total three-pointers against the Lakers in their 2 regular season games. And Miami only shot 23.5% from the three-point line. That's been a staple of the Lakers' defense this season, which is not letting teams get hot from the three-point line. The Lakers actually hit more three-pointers than the Heat did in their 2 contests. Small sample size, but it's a little surprising to see that the Lakers were able to outscore the Heat from the three-point line. The Lakers have been finding some success from the three-point line. They outscored the Nuggets by 9 from the three-point line, and that was one of the reasons why they were able to dispatch the Nuggets relatively easily in 5 games. They outscored the Nuggets by 22 points. So it was not a series that was. Several games were close, but it was not a series where you were at the edge of your seat for every game. So the Lakers were certainly impressive in how they finished off the Nuggets. I find it impressive that they were able to outscore the Nuggets from the three-point line. That suggests that some of their streaky veterans, like LeBron's a streaky three-point shooter, Anthony Davis may be their best three-point shooter. And but the Lakers' ability to outscore the Nuggets from the three-point line suggests to me that they may finally be getting things going from distance. One thing that I found interesting from reviewing the 2 games that they played during the regular season is that Bam Adebayo really struggled against the Lakers. He only averaged 11.5 points per game against them. Adebayo has averaged 18.5 points per game in the playoffs. He's kind of really taking his game to another level. He probably came into the playoffs as a decent player, but now he's definitely earned the reputation for being a potential future star and building block for the Heat. I know he didn't make the All-Star team, but I certainly had questions about Adebayo's ability to dominate, and he certainly has done so thus far. But he's done so against Daniel Tice. He's done so against Brook Lopez. He's done so against Miles Turner. Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard are 4 different animals than those guys. They're 4 stronger defensive, and I think that was reflected in Adebayo's struggles during the regular season. But then again, the Heat have outperformed their regular season numbers significantly in this postseason. I may have put too much value in the Heat's regular season performance. So it's quite possible they'll outrun their regular season performance against the Lakers as well. So that game will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, we are going to review some college football games. We're going to give you a couple free picks from the BetQl model. We'll also be reviewing the Thursday night football game as well. If you want to get ahead of that and just go subscribe right now to the BetQl model, use the promo code CHANCE so you can get 20% off any subscription. Weekly, monthly, annual plans are available. One sport, two sport, VIP plans, all sport plans. They're all available to you. But if you are going to subscribe, use the promo code CHAN to get 20% off any BetQl subscription. I think as we've been talking, I think the Ravens-Chiefs game is wrapping up. Hopefully it's wrapping up in the Chiefs' direction. I laid with the Chiefs. I took the points of the Chiefs at 3.5 today. I am running hot in the NFL thus far. Even though I've been running cold thanks to the Miami Heat in the NBA, I've been running really hot in the NFL. So maybe I'll continue to run hot. So maybe you'll want to go tune in to see some of my picks for my pick for the Thursday night football game. But until then, thank you for watching the Big Data Show. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Stay safe, and I wish you good luck on your bets until then. Thank you for joining.